All right, everybody. We are back for another podcast. Who's back? Zach's back. I don't know which side he's on. I don't know. He's probably on this side, he's on that side. Welcome back, Zach. How does it feel?
Feels great.
It feels amazing. You should
Got
be more
some good
excited.
news.
Yeah, there's a lot of good news. Oh, FYI, I am Andrew. I'm changing this to the Park Hoppers podcast. You're now officially on the team as well, Zach. Let's
All
take
right.
let's park it. It just didn't have that good ring that Park Hoppers does. But we are Park Hoppers, and that's what we're doing now. But I know we have some news, Zach. Some delightful things that we love and appreciate have been happening, especially over in Orlando, and that is of the spooky business known as Halloween Horror Nights. And how excited are you, Zach?
I'm very excited, especially after missing it out last year. Got to go hard
Yeah,
this year.
it gotta go real hard. And it sounds like Halloween Horror Nights and the people over there in Orlando are also going to go hard, which let's hope. But that's what we're going to talk about today on this exciting episode of Let's Park It. Cue intro. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. All right. So not only is Zach back, but guess who else is back? Jack's back, baby. Zach, when you heard the news, what were your initial reaction of Jack being back?
I kind of saw it coming a little. Also,
Yeah.
so I'm probably in the minority here, but I was a little disappointed.
Um. Why? Why were you disappointed?
Number one, there was no house announcements,
True.
and number two, I think Jack is slightly underrated or overrated.
So that's going to not do so well with the fan base. But I also, we saw it coming. Like, what else could they do that's gonna make like a big wow, a big impact, that kind of stuff? Bring Jack back. Why not? Like, of course, it was an easy slap onto a season that like I'm sure the budgets were changed. I'm sure things were different, and then they're like, guess what, everybody, Jack's back. So why not do this? So yeah, I agree. I don't think it's necessarily the. I'm not super excited. Of course, I'm excited. It's Halloween Horror Nights, but
Yeah,
like, am I like OMG, Jack is back? So I'm like going crazy. No, it's I'd rather have something else. But at the same time, Jack usually brings pretty good scares. Like there's some
yeah,
pretty good stuff coming.
yeah.
So yeah,
I'll admit he's the best icon,
oh,
but
easily.
kind of was expecting something a little different, but
And how about
I'm
that?
still okay with it.
You're still okay? Yeah, of course. I mean, we're going to Halloween Horror Nights this year. Like, it's gonna be amazing. Um, what did you think about? Did you think the mess up that they did in where was it? Like the UK? Did you see that there was like a mess up in marketing that released that video too early?
Yeah, yeah, I
Do
saw
you think
that.
that was on purpose, or do you think that was like, look at us,
Yeah, I don't know. If I had looked into it a little more, I could probably tell, but
Yeah,
it was just a quick glance. I was like, oh, just wait in case this is fake.
yeah, me too. It seemed like someone genuinely messed up though. Like I think someone released something early, and they're like, "Oops, we guess we got to release this." And then did
Yeah,
you see the stuff the other day that they were doing, which was like those live streams of just like
just
static?
static. Yeah.
Yeah, and there was nothing to really like take apart in there. There was
Oh,
nothing to like
cameras.
we got Zach went into the abyss there for real quick. If you guys are watching on the stream, uh, there was nothing to like take apart in there. They didn't give time to like solve any puzzles. It was just kind of like cryptic, weird stuff, and then they're like, "Here's something happening." So I can't say anything bad about it, but it seemed rushed or that they were trying to hustle something out.
Yeah, usually a little more detailed at this time of year.
Yeah, a lot more detailed. But I think this year though, there's been a lot to decompress, especially if knowing if they were even going to have the haunted house this year.
Oh, for
So
sure.
I think I don't know. I don't know who decided when or what when it comes to Jack, but I don't think it was too long ago. I think they were like, let's do it. Okay, fine. They went and had the go ahead, like maybe a couple months ago. Um, oh, let's watch the trailer real quick. And Zach, you're going to have to watch on your end over here. But you've seen it already, but I'm going to put it up for all the folks that are watching. And if you're listening, make sure to go onto the YouTube channel. Here it is. I think it's going.
Some say he's the one behind every scream.
It's going on my end.
Some say he only comes out every few years. And some say he's closer than you think.
So if you're listening, Jack comes on the screen. It's a bunch of like
To mark the event's 30th year, Jack
Never Go
is
Alone
back
30.
at Universal's Halloween Horror Nights.
Dinosaur
And
Scare
this
Thing?
year,
Or they
he's
show people getting
everywhere.
scared.
In a haunted house,
Yeah.
in the dark where you
Bunch of
least
scared
expect.
people
But the
getting scared.
one place he's sure to
And,
be is in your nightmares.
Jack's back on big TV screens. That's it. They've done way better in the past. Like every other year, they've done so much better.
Yeah.
What were your feelings on this whole new video, like this teaser that came out? Were you like, did it make you excited for Halloween Horror Nights?
It did. It did. I don't know why we're nitpicking at this point because we missed it last year, but
It's true. It's true. But like, this is what we do. This is,
yeah,
once it's in and we're like, we're going, now it's like, we forgot that the whole last year never happened. And now we're like, I'm going to pick apart everything that you do Halloween
yeah,
Horror
just
Nights.
like we do every other year.
Yeah.
Before.
I mean, we did it last year during this time and we weren't even, we're like, oh, the pandemic's not good. It's fine. Everything will be open by July. Remember that? I was looking past on our old stuff and I was like, little did we know that this would be a whole year of just nothing. No
Yep.
fun. No fun. We got put into timeout. Welcome, world. All right. So Jack is back. Halloween 30. Never Go Alone. The excitement is real. The hype is real. Let's hope it lives up to the hype. Now, Zach, now that we're all excited about this, I do want to ask your opinions on the precautions pertaining the pandemic. Now, last year was a lot of stuff where they did a few haunted houses just for the people that were going through the parks, and it was like social distance, 6 feet apart, and it was also plexiglass in the haunts that were definitely taking away from people and the scare actors. What do you think is going to happen this year and why? And go.
All right, since they already have done away with masks and social distancing, I say it's going to be normal Horror Nights.
Just straight up balls to the walls.
Yeah.
I agree with you 100%. I think we're about to get into, if you haven't been in a crowd, well, guess what? You're going to get slammed into a conga line for 3 hours. And if you don't like it, well, guess what? You're going to have a bad time. I think it's going to be crazy. I think it's going to be the weirdest. So I've been going to the parks lately, and we don't have masks here anymore in California, which has been a while for Orlando. It still hasn't been that long though. Orlando has only been masked off for a little bit, but we're brand new and fresh. And for me to go to the theme park, I went to Universal Studios today, and I was walking around, and I had that moment where I saw someone with a mask, and I went, oh crap, I forgot my mask. Like it instantly was in my brain that like I need to put a mask on, even though you don't need to. I had like a little like, a shocking moment. So I think we're going to have that shocking moment come October when all of a sudden we're surrounded by 30,000 people. But I'm also like, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a good old time.
Just bring that feeling back, even if it's standing in lines. Sure.
Don't say those. Don't say that. We're not standing in no lines. No one's standing in no
Yeah,
lines, Zach.
We don't
Listen,
wait in line.
we don't.
All right.
I did not wait a year and a half. This is gonna be what a year, a whole 2 years. This is gonna be a 2 year gap. Think about that, because Halloween Horror Nights happened, a whole year happened, no Halloween Horror Nights, and then we're all the way back around, right? So that's 2 years, 2 full calendar years.
Yep.
That is mind blowing to me right now, because you think about it. Oh, the Panini was only a year, but in reality, we lost more than a year. Because especially for certain events, Christmas events, anything that happens one time a year, after March, you just have to wait the whole entire year. So it's been a while, but I'm ready, and I do think that it's gonna be just straight out chaos, and I think it's gonna be more chaos than normal. I think it's gonna be crazy. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. People need their Horror Nights fix, and they're gonna get it.
And they're gonna get it, and they are ramping it up, and they're doing some crazy stuff. Speaking of crazy stuff that they're doing, the Cabana Bay is doing something really sweet. I'm putting it up on the display here, and I'll read it over since it's not on Zach's display. But Halloween Horror Nights 30 at the Cabana Bay Resort will feature Jacked Up, which gets a closer look at Jack the Clown's past HHN appearances. There's going to be a Horror Icons bar, which has food, drinks, props, and costumes that play homage to the event. And there'll be a dedicated entry along with that for any guests of the Universal Studios properties, like normal when they've done their other pop-ups. Zach, that Horror Icons bar, how awesome is that going to be?
It's gonna be awesome.
That's literally where we're going to be the whole entire time. We'll be like, yeah, you guys want to go over there? Sure.
And I'm assuming it's gonna be open like non-Horror Nights days, so that would be even cooler. Like,
Yeah, that'd be clutch.
get just a little taste before you actually go to Horror Nights.
Yeah, and I think. Do you think, did they announce where they're going to do it? Is it going to be in the Swizzle Lounge, or are they going to do a whole different bar for that? Or did they announce anything like that?
I think it was the Swizzle Lounge that was mentioned.
So that's going to be crazy to see right when you get into the entrance of Cabana Bay. You're checking in, and you have all these crazy costumes and everything else just around the area. There's definitely, so I have friends that don't like Halloween Horror Nights. Yes, I know. Why would I be friends with somebody that doesn't like Halloween Horror Nights? I don't know, but they even were like, they're going to go down right before Halloween Horror Nights starts. So like the September 1st time. So of course they'll probably be setting up and that kind of stuff. And they're like, do I have to change my hotel because I don't want to see any of this kind of stuff around? And I'm like, oh, darling, you're going to have, that's going to be everywhere. And I'm trying to get them to go, but they definitely are super scared. And their name is Mouse Vibes, so make sure to follow them on YouTube.
I brought some people that were originally scared, but then they ended up loving it. So
yeah, that's what I'm hoping happens with them. But one of the members of Mouse Vibes also said that they went through the Universal Studios, what is it, the attraction we have here that just closed down, the Walking Dead attraction, and they went through it once, then they went through a second time and had to exit halfway through. And I was like, first off, I need to put a GoPro on you so I can record your actions while you're doing this. But yeah, I'm just excited. I'm excited. Like, I know we usually stay at Cabana Bay, but I think this year staying at the Portofino or one of the other hotels is probably the way to go, just because of those fast passes. I don't think we're going to have the slow time that we're used to. And I'm not sure I don't know if you've thought about this, or seen the crowds that have been happening even on weekdays when it's supposed to be slow, according to the crowd calendar. It's just seasonally when it's supposed to be slow on certain days, it's slammed.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, and I don't think we're going to get that slowness anymore. So I think staying at one of the premier hotels with that fast pass is definitely the way to go. And we'll just hop over to the Cabana Bay. It's just right across the street.
Yeah.
And we have
Resort
access.
hop.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't done that in a while. Aventura just opened, like literally
Yeah.
just opened. You know
That
what that
rooftop
means?
bar.
That's right. That's right. Someone posted pictures from it, and I was like, I'm like, I want to book a trip now. Like, can I get a trip now and then go later? Come October, it's Orlando, take my money. There you go.
Yeah. Specifically the bars.
Oh, well, the thing is so here, I'll go and have a drink at the, wherever in Universal Studios. I don't like Duff beer anymore. It's meh. But they have like Trulies and everything else. And then I realize how expensive it is to drink out here compared to Orlando. Now this is a big difference. Guess how much one of their new, like the Dragon Scale Ale, like in Hogsmeade. Guess how much one beer is now at Hogsmeade for like one of the signature beers.
Or like 12, 13.
$17.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll repeat that. It's $17 to drink one beer in a normal cup. Now I could be wrong, so someone in the comments, please just tell me I'm wrong, but I definitely don't think I'm wrong. I'll go and get a Truly's, like one of the bigger ones, $13. Excuse me, $13 for a Truly's. Now I went to Six Flags today, and they have the small ones, which the small ones are actually just the same size as a normal can, just shaped differently. Those are also $12. Insane prices at the parks for alcohol here. Insane. Disney though actually isn't that bad unless you're getting like mixed drinks, but they're delicious and whatever, so it's fine. But you go and drink in Orlando, it's $8 for a beer. So in my brain, I'm like, that's 2 beers for the price of one. Let's go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I cannot wait. I'm super excited. The Cabana Bay, Jack's back, all kinds of stuff. So let's see. Then I guess we should go into house speculation, our favorite time, our favorite part. Are you ready for this?
I am.
All right, I'm gonna put the map up on the screen here. Let me see. For everyone who's not joining us via the YouTubes, make sure to go on to YouTube. Then we got some visuals on there that you guys can't miss out. It's pretty cool. Let me put this so it's a little bit bigger. Okay, so I'm looking at the speculation map from Horror Nights Nightmares. Is that the same one you're looking at, Zach?
Yep.
And if you want to start, just go from the list. Just list them off, and then we'll talk about them afterwards.
All right. First, we have Bride of Frankenstein Lives,
Mm-hmm.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
Mm-mm.
Revenge of the Tooth Fairy, HHN Icons Captured, Welcome to Scary, Horror in the Heartland, The Wicked Growth, Realm of the Pumpkin, Puppet Theater Captive Audience, The Haunting of Hill House, Beetlejuice, and Creep Show, or Halloween 3.
Okay, so now let's do some due diligence here. Halloween. What's the name of the Halloween Horror Nightmares? Right?
Horror Night Nightmares.
They are pretty accurate. They have been in the past with their predictions. I think there's some sort of insider, and they're just putting this out.
Definitely.
Yeah, I do think that, because how could you come up with these names? And I know they have the project names like in like the files or something like that from the past, but they've gotten so vague. Like it's like Texas Chainsaw Massacre would be like house, and you're like, and then they're like, that's Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and you're like, what? How did you get that from there? You're like, Blade of Grass. Okay, yeah, no, it's definitely. You know why? Because there's like blades of grass And like, oh yeah, so that one time, like he steps on a blade of grass, and you see it in the scene, and then Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Okay, we got this. I'm like, they come, but the problem, you laugh because this is what these people do.
Yeah. They get pretty
And then
accurate.
first I'm like, where are you getting?
Detailed.
Yeah, they get super detailed. And I'm like, first off, get a hobby. Also, if this is your hobby, I appreciate you, but like, also go outside every once in a while, please.
Thinking
Listen, I'm not
way too much into it.
so much, and it kind of like they get rowdy about it too. Some of these people, but you know what? Let them. I don't care. It's not my. I'll just reap the benefits of the maps. Okay, so right off the bat, which haunt are you looking forward to the most, and which haunt are you not looking forward to?
All right. Looking forward to the most, probably Icons Captured.
Mm-hmm. And then not looking forward to.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Okay. I think I'm gonna agree with you wholeheartedly. Both of those, except maybe instead of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Halloween 3. If it's Creep Show, it's Dope Haunt.
I think it's going to be Creep Show.
I think they just ported over everything from Hollywood over to here, and that's what I think they did. But let's go through the list, and then we'll go on to why we like those. So first up, we have Bride of Frankenstein's Lives. Bride of Frankenstein Lives. Now, is this a sequel? Wasn't there already Bride of Frankenstein?
I'm not sure, but this one's pretty much a given because it was one of the ones that was open last year.
Oh, this was?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't watch any of the walkthroughs. Plus, most of them are like bootleg, that kind of stuff. Did you watch them?
I did.
And how does it look?
It looks great, actually.
Yeah. Any of the ones from the monster stuff they do are pretty legit.
Yeah. They kind of redesigned the bride, like instead of the like Marge Simpson hair, it's kind of like scraggly. I don't know.
She's like emo hipster. She's like, hey, I don't know if you knew this, but I'm like, that's my boyfriend.
Yeah. And she kind of like takes on the mad scientist role. It seemed like.
Oh, okay. So like in charge, like head B.
I think so. Yeah.
I can't. I almost wanted to say the word, but I can't. You know what? I've been getting pretty good at calming myself. Because remember these podcasts were like, beep 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 beep, and now I'm like turning PG because I'm like, I don't want to get this thing demonetized, even though I'm not monetized yet. It's coming, but I'm right there. Yeah, I always like these haunts, especially any of the monsters ones. They're always a good time. They always put in effort, and I think the creative team loves putting in effort to these ones because it is such a thing to Universal. I mean, it's Universal Monsters, and I think we forget about Universal Monsters in Orlando. Universal Monsters is very prevalent in Hollywood. Like, there's a giant mural in the back, on the back lot. If you go in the back lot tour sometimes, I'll take you by it. And they did a whole giant Universal Monsters thing. They did a Universal Monster. They have the merch, the Universal Monster stuff. It's awesome, the custom skateboards and that kind of stuff. So you see a lot more Universal Monsters in Hollywood rather than Orlando. So I think we forget about that. But I think it's going to be a good haunt.
Oh, yeah. They do it every, like, I don't know, 5 years maybe.
Well, they've been
Orlando.
Yeah. Oh, for the Universal Monsters.
Yeah.
Now, is this one also like a Slash one, like where it's the music's by Slash or by like whoever? Because that's what they did out here in Hollywood.
I don't think so.
It was pretty badass.
Okay. Yeah, they don't do that too much in Orlando unless it's specifically for that person.
Yeah,
like
it was.
There was that Alice Cooper one a while ago.
Oh yeah, they did that a couple times. I remember in Hollywood they did the Slash one. So Slash did the soundtrack to it, and it was actually really cool. It was like a bunch of Hollywood monsters, and it was pretty dope. It was actually really cool. Anyways, next up, Texas Chainsaw Mascara. What do you think about this one? I know you said this is your least favorite. Is it gonna be the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the old Texas Chainsaw Massacre? What do you think it's gonna be, Zach? Let me know your thoughts.
I'm not sure because I'm not sure when the new one's supposed to come out. So usually they coincide with the release date.
Is there another one coming out?
Yeah,
How
unfortunately.
many? How many are there? Like we already rebooted it like 12 times.
Yeah. Um, but if they do the original one, they did that a couple years ago. Like it was
Yeah,
really good. It was really good then, but I wouldn't say hate, but
bring
like I
in the
don't
hate.
like when
Bring
they,
the hate.
I don't like when they bring stuff back.
Yeah, like let's do it again. Yeah.
Like when they redid American Werewolf in London. Like I loved that haunt, but I wanted something new.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like I hope the thing is like it's an easy one to do. That's what I feel like when we get into the Hollywood map for a split second because there's only like 6. You see the connections and what they do, and you're like, this is just toss away stuff. It's just toss away. So I think like Texas Chainsaw Massacre is really easy to do. So if you anyone who's listening, you haven't listened to in a while, Zach and I have backgrounds in actually building and doing all kinds of crazy stuff with haunted houses themselves. So we know the ins and outs of scenic design, designing haunted houses, what goes into the details, and when it comes to designing these things. And I think Texas Chainsaw Massacre is really easy to do because it's just a house. It's like you're in a house, and what else is easier to do than a house? Nothing, because you're already building a house. A haunted house is a house, so it's like put up some
Chainsaw
wallpaper.
scares are easy.
Yeah, yeah, they're super easy. And Texas Chainsaw Massacre is all chainsaw, all stuff. So you have some scenes where it's like, "Wow, yay!" and everyone will flip out and love it. Unfortunately, that's the sad truth. So let's just hope this one's a rumor and that Horror Night Horrors. Is that what? No, Horror Night
Horror Night
Nightmares. That's such a.
Nightmares.
Listen, guys. If you're listening to this, please change your name to something else. That is just a blah, 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 flabbergasted thing. However, we do love you and appreciate you for everything that you do. But that name is, yeah, it's a little bit of a tongue twister. Nothing wrong with it. So, Revenge of the Tooth Fairy. I wish we had descriptions to read for these things. Like we usually
Yeah.
have something. So now we're just like
Um,
coming up with stuff. This could be so wrong, and I kind of want it to be totally different. And I hope it's all Billie Eilish haunts this year. That's chef's kiss. It's Billie Eilish. Okay, here's the new thing. It's Billie Eilish, and what's that one girl's name from TikTok? That Bella Porch. That's it. Those are the 2 haunts. That's all you get. Bye, guys. Done. Sold. Listen. Okay. So, anyways, Revenge of the Tooth Fairy. What do you think is going to happen here? What do you think? I have some
so
ideas.
this one was one of the ones that was open last year too.
This one was. Which ones were open last year?
Bride of Frankenstein, Tooth Fairy, and Beetlejuice.
Okay. Okay. So you watched the video clearly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tell me what you think it's gonna be.
That's
huh?
exactly. Yeah. Let me tell you what I think it's going to be. And I don't know if you were a part of the live stream last night, but Revenge of the Tooth Fairy makes me think that it's like the Tooth Fairy is coming back with a vengeance. Okay, so he's pulling teeth out of kids' like mouths. Like it's gonna be like this evil Tooth Fairy creature. I don't know, probably like dilapidated, all like coming at you. But like the scenes will be like them pulling teeth out, blood coming up, that kind of stuff, just like ripping and gnawing stuff out of teeth. And then I'm feeling it's gonna be like how they did some of the. They took some of the scary tales. I think it was what the haunt was called,
Scary
where they
Tales,
where they like put. It's like they made those things scary. Like I remember Rapunzel was like pulled apart and her hair was all over the place, and it was like torn and scalped, and then like it was like limbs torn and that kind of stuff. I just remember being like, "Whoa, this is pretty graphic for what it was."
Yeah.
And especially since it was awesome. I remember it being very visual, and I was like, "Oh, this is really cool." So a lot of like taking these weird things and like exaggerating them, like they were people torn apart. I think so. I thought the Revenge of the Tooth Fairy would be something like that. So maybe like I don't know. You're getting the Tooth Fairy's attacking somebody with a giant tooth, just this weird wacky stuff, but like super gory. What is the haunt, Zach?
It's kind of that actually.
All right,
It's,
listen.
it's kind of gory. You start
Yeah.
out in like a storybook,
Hmm.
and the first scene looks awesome. Like it has storybook art through the whole first room.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
So it
but
looks good.
yeah, pretty much ripping people's teeth out and shit.
Yeah. It
Oop,
sounds now.
I swore.
What's that? No, you're
Oh,
fine.
I swore.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I'm not too worried about this. We do have a couple more people from last time though, but you know this it will go from like 3 viewers to like 10, so they'll be good. But the channel has grown. That is a good thing. Um, so yeah, did it look? Are you excited for this one?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Any originals, I'm usually excited for. So.
Oh, they kill it. Or well, hold on. Orlando kills it. I can't say as much for our fellow people over here in Hollywood, where the movies are made. What's going on, guys? Like, this is where the movies are made. Get it together, guys. The black hallways and stuff. Oh, we'll get in there. So, you're not even drinking anything. I'm already like a couple deep in. So,
All right, I got some here. Only thing I could find.
he's like, I got water.
Little mics.
Yeah, so I'm excited for that one. Now this next haunt, extremely excited for. I don't even know what's gonna happen, but I want to hear your speculation versus what my speculation is, and I think they'll probably coincide with each other. So the next one is HHN Icons Captured, which I think this will also be a different name when it comes out. I don't think this is the name. I think this just sounds so like blah. But at the same time too, is like these are flipping like logos already made. So you're saying
Yeah.
this is gonna be it. This is it, huh?
Yeah, it's gonna be like your anthology house, I guess.
Yeah.
But I did want to mention the logo. The T
Yeah.
is a lantern from HHN 20 when the icon was fear,
Yeah.
and fear like captured souls and stuff in the lantern.
Now, isn't the lantern associated with Jack? Isn't there something associated with Jack? Or is it the box?
There's some lore with that.
Yeah, he gets deep.
I'm
'Cause
not
I
exactly
remember-
sure how deep it goes. Like, I'm sure it's connected to him somehow.
So, which brings me to the point which we didn't get onto before, but okay, so in the commercial, it's like this is, and we're digging already now. We're already digging into this. We're like, okay, in the commercial, scene at 37
Yeah.
seconds.
Just
So-
talking bad about those people. Now we're
yeah,
doing it.
yeah, now we're doing it. Could you imagine being the people that actually make these, and you're like, okay, we made this really cool commercial, and they're just shaking their heads. They're like, okay, so we have to pick apart our own thing that we're doing. We're just making this thing look cool, but everyone's gonna pick apart this, so we have to specifically make sure that the things that we say in the video are either like you're projected towards a certain thing. Like you can't not mess up. Like you can't not say something because everyone will take it off to the races. Isn't that's
yeah.
wild?
Or they put in red herrings.
Oh yeah, like I would do it all the time. I would drop all kinds of stupid Easter eggs and be like, haha, gotcha. So in the commercial though, it says Jack's everywhere basically. So it's like Jack's there, he's gonna scare you here, he's everywhere. So do we think Jack is gonna have a scare zone? Is this HHN Icon's house gonna be his? Do you think Jack captured everybody? Is this the souls? Like, what do you think is gonna happen?
Maybe he stole the lantern and captured all the other icons.
And
And
then
maybe we'll see some past house stuff. I
it's
don't know.
always
There's also this 30th anniversary scare zone too, which I'm curious about. We can
Oh,
get into it.
I didn't even see that on the thing. So, um, are there scare zones already on there?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll have to go. You have to go through those because I can't read them. It's too small on my screen. But yeah, like I think this will still be a good haunt because whenever you put the best, it's gonna be a good haunt. Like
Oh, yeah.
it's easy to do, and
The
it you know
25th year one was my favorite one that year. The
oh
Anthology House.
yeah, I don't even remember that one. I don't remember a lot of them though, so that's it's the truth though. Think about it, it's 5 years ago or 6 years ago, right? Like I can't even remember what other haunts were there. Like if you told me a couple of them, I probably would remember. But
Yeah, like
um,
our 24-hour trip.
was that 24 hours? I remember that. I don't remember what
I
haunts
don't
were
know.
there.
I remember
Okay, so
Cabin in the Woods.
oh
We're getting
yeah,
off topic, but
yeah. But either way, listen, it's fine. So Zach and I took back in our youth. We did a 24-hour trip to Halloween Horror Nights, and that was the craziest trip. I had booked a ticket like a week before or something like that. I'm like, I'm going, and then Zach's sitting on my couch and is like, "Yeah, I'll come too." And I was like, "What? Really?" He's like, "Yeah. Didn't you have to drive to Rhode Island for your flight?
yeah,
Was that
because
the
that's where
one?"
you booked your flight out of. Yeah,
Oh,
after where you came from on a local haunt.
oh, that's right. Okay, so yeah, for some reason we booked. So we went to a haunted house that night, drove back to my house in New Hampshire. Did we do that? And then drove all the way to Rhode Island to get on a flight. I don't think we slept that night. I don't think we slept at all. Got on the plane, and the plane ride's only like 3.5 hours, so it's not like you get a nap in. You're not getting a full day's worth of sleeping. And did we go to the park during the day and then Halloween Horror Nights at night, right?
Yeah,
Because we didn't have uh, season passes back then. We just booked it and went, right? I think that's what we did.
yeah.
And then we were back on the plane at like what 7 a.m. Something stupid and crazy.
After
And I,
getting like 3 hours of sleep.
3 hours maybe. Like that's. I mean, we were young though, so that was fine. That was like, well, still wasn't that young, but I remember you had just got off you were on that crazy diet and that kind of stuff, and I fed you Taco Bell, and Zach's like, I can't eat this, and I'm like, Zach, just eat the Taco Bell, it'll be so good, trust me. And it was delicious. I think we ate those giant donuts then too.
Oh god. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're doing again. We're recreating that night this year. Anyways, we're off topic. Welcome to our lives, everybody. But that's the kind of stuff people want to listen to. So HHN captured. We went over that. Hopefully, it's some cool stuff. Some good stuff. Did you have anything else to say on that one?
No, that was pretty
Okay.
much it. Just want to mention the lantern.
Yeah, which is listen. Where do the people get these logos from too? Like, where are you getting this stuff from? I don't.
Yeah, that's from their source. That's
Yeah,
leaking them.
it's probably just what's his face. What's the creative director? Is he even the creative director anymore? Michael?
It's got like a different title or something now. Aiello, Michael
Yeah,
Aiello.
yeah. I was gonna say aioli, but okay. So this one, it's scary. What's the full title to this one? Because it's too small on my screen.
Welcome to Scary Horror in the Heartland.
Now this is some deep lore, right? Because scary Ohio or is it Indiana?
Cary, Ohio. Yeah.
So that's like deep in the lore of where everything happens in Halloween Horror Nights. Am I correct?
Yeah, it's pretty much been mentioned at least every year.
Forever. Yeah, it's been so something's always happening in this town, and that's kind of where like all this stuff kind of like goes from. So I think this one might be really cool. I think this might be something that we an unexpected haunt that we don't know what's going to happen, but unless they've already some more information about this one, this
But,
definitely
I'm
could be.
I got some thoughts based on the logo, but I don't know anything.
No. So what are your thoughts? Well, I go turn off my air conditioning as I just figured out that it's still on.
You want me to keep going?
Yes.
All right. So my thoughts are Well, the logo itself reminds me of like old Americana style.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm thinking maybe like traditional Halloween costumes and stuff, but like Americana style,
Yeah,
like trick or treaters and stuff. They like to
yeah,
do that a lot.
like the traditional old school stuff.
Yeah,
I think that'd be cool.
that's that's the vibes I'm getting from that logo.
Do you think it's gonna like maybe pull into some backstory about Jack or something like that? Maybe this is his backstory. I'm not sure because he's got tons of
Maybe
backstory.
um, I'm trying to think. There was one they had a while ago, like meats with like an old like butcher, the cartoon icon for like a meat
Hmm.
company.
And that
I'm
was
thinking that that might show up here because that's kind of like the Americana style too.
okay. So you think it's
Hopefully,
gonna
I
be
got
like
that name right.
old?
People
I know
yelling
they're
at
gonna
me
be
in the
like,
comments.
yeah. Listen, we got viewers now, so people might be like, listen, that's not it. So if you know in the comments, put it down below. If not, well, we made it all up and it's not real. But so you're thinking to be old school Americana, like trick or treat style from like the back in the day, huh?
Yeah, that's the vibes I'm getting.
So like those old plasticky costumes, like the ones like from Trick or Treat, basically, like that whole style.
Yeah,
That'd be pretty cool. I love that style. That Trick or Treat haunt was pretty cool. Did they have Trick or Treat in Orlando?
yeah.
Yeah, with the bus and that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah,
That
that
was
room was
really
awesome.
cool. And that's I think maybe they liked that one. Maybe this would be like a different style to that. But I like that vibe. It's kind of what it kind of feels like in certain scenes. Like that old school, old timey trick or treat type stuff.
Yeah, and they usually do that pretty well when they do it. So
Yeah, I'm excited for that. So that'll be a good time. Let's go on to the next. This is what, the Wicked Growth? What's the last part of
yeah,
that?
Wicked Growth, a realm of the pumpkin.
So what is this? Pumpkin patches? Like pumpkins
Like
come to life?
pumpkin head kind of
Yeah, Pumpkinhead.
creatures.
Honestly, I love when they do this kind of stuff. When it's some sort of like plants, some sort
Yeah,
of like they do really good jobs because they can get really good scares in because they're usually like the characters in the back and it's like all kinds of different pumpkins and then they come out and you're good to go and it's just in your face.
yeah,
So I'm
yeah. I like
excited
that
for
stuff.
yeah, they do really well with these kind of these haunted houses.
It's
Um
probably like some mutated pumpkin, gross looking creatures.
yeah, and I'm sure they've had this. Do you think all of these, not to get off topic, even though we're not off topic, do you think they've had all these haunts planned and these are just the ones from last year? Or do you think they changed some of them?
I think some of them are from past ideas.
I think a lot of them, I think the IPs are the only ones that changed.
Yeah, the wicked growth might connect to these other plant ones too.
Yeah. Because think about it. If you have all of the design of the the characters, all the production of the costumes. You have a lot of stuff going into this. You're not just gonna all of a sudden throw a whole year's worth of work out the door because they were playing this way before the pandemic, so it's like they had a lot of stuff in process. So I think a lot of these are probably all the stuff from uh 2020, which isn't bad. Whatever. I love it.
Yeah,
But I think they're gonna do good on this one. I think this will be another great one. I think this is gonna be the year of IPs, or not. Sorry, the exact opposite of what I just said. The year of originals that are gonna just take over. And yeah, I'm excited for this whole pumpkin guts and horror and whatever and it's old. I keep thinking of like Swamp Thing, like just these like
yeah,
yeah, but like in pumpkin style. So it's like viney and all these crazy vines are coming down and just I could imagine there's gonna be a lot of pumpkin spice smell going on, just like a lot of, like that kind of stuff.
yeah.
I could imagine. Okay, here's what it is. So the old spirit of Halloween is turned into a pumpkin, and and he's getting revenge on all the people who love pumpkin spice. And so it all takes place in a Starbucks that's overgrown with pumpkin spice, and he's coming for revenge because he hates it. And that's the name of it. That's why it's that. So, yeah, I just solved it for everybody.
Confirmed.
Confirmed. You heard it here first. Okay, so now Puppet Theater. You've watched this one already. Wait.
So this one wasn't from last year, but there was a behind the scenes video
Yes.
that was leaked.
I don't even think it was leaked. I think they put it out there, didn't they?
Peacock did their streaming service
Oh,
on
yes.
accident.
Which I have. Only for The Office. I will say that. And the
They
best
took it
thing
down,
about-
I think.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, it was like a behind the scenes type of stuff.
Yeah.
But it
Which-
looked pretty dope.
Yeah, it looked pretty good.
So what's the gist of this one? From what you've seen?
It looked like it obviously took place in a theater mostly. You like go under the stage and under the theater, just like puppets and mannequins everywhere.
So just thinking, now here's a problem. There's a big problem with this haunted house. I don't like ventriloquist dolls. So like, what's going to happen here? Am I going to get scared? Because I do not want to walk into this giant puppet going like this and trying to chase me.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of that.
I don't know if I'm going to like this, Zach. This is going to be like one of the ones and be like, can we go to the bar beforehand, please? This is the only one. Which, of course, I'm going to say that every time. Oh,
Yeah.
I cannot wait. Cannot wait. Okay, so going off tangent, everyone. Zach and I one time, I forget which one it is. We had, this is bad. I don't even know if I can say this. We were drinking double rum and cokes, and we think we drank like 2 or 3 of them within one stop of the bar. Because I remember me buying you drinks, and you like bought me drinks, and then I think someone else might have bought us drinks. So no matter what, Halloween Horror Nights is a great time. Have fun with it. Do an RIP tour because you can do whatever you want. You have private bars where they like that one bar in what's that? Lambards? Is that the yeah.
Lombards.
Yeah. There's literally no line. Excuse me. And I think you can go to that bar normally too.
Yeah.
So there's never a line in there. But when the
Actually, it might just be RIP, but
I think there's a bar outside of it that's for public, and there's no one ever there either. So we just would get there. The person was there, and they're like, "Yeah, you got like 12 minutes or whatever," and we're like, "Okay." And we ended up drinking so much that night. It was such a great time. That was one of my favorite. Which one was that? Was that the
it's year
80s one?
I think so. The year with Poltergeist and Halloween 4.
I remember Poltergeist because you went the house. You went underneath it, right? You like kind of went through it like a. Was that the 80s year?
I think so.
Well, did Matt come with
Yeah.
us? Anyway, yeah, that was a good time. The thing is, they're all good times. That's the problem. Okay, so Puppet Theater. Sorry, guys, digressing. Puppet Theater gonna be awesome. Except I'm gonna need a few drinks for it because I don't like puppets. The Haunting on Hill House. I've never seen the show, Zach. What
I
do you
haven't
think?
either.
No, it's spooky dooky. Like there's stuff in the background happening, kind of like I don't know. It's just like one of those shows that it's a drama, right? I think is what I'm hearing, and there's like spooky
Yeah.
stuff happening in the background, like what's the other show? American Horror Story. And then you pump in some sex into it, and then you're good to go, right? I don't necessarily think this is going to be a good haunt because everything I've heard from the Haunting on Hill House is stuff happens in the background.
Yeah.
Like you have to like rewatch it or like look really closely. And
I
it's
mean,
just
that could be interesting for people like us who look closer at the sets,
yeah.
if that's what they do.
Yeah, but I don't think that's. I think it's just going to be a generic haunted house. I think it's going to be like, literally, it's going to be like haunted house, the haunted house. You know, like that's literally what it's going to be. Um, I don't know. What are your thoughts on this?
I could take it or leave it. I'll have to
Yeah,
watch the show. I definitely want to watch the show before going.
not going to do it. I'm not going to do it, Zach. I'm
All
not
right,
doing
I'll
it.
let you in on the good parts, maybe.
Please, please be like, listen, watch this, and I'm like, I'm still not going to do it.
They've done like ghost houses pretty well.
Yeah,
Uh, that's what I get from the show. It's a ghost show, right? Not like demons or anything.
yeah. I think it's just Ghost. I think it's like what was the one with Owen Wilson and Selma Hayek? I think no. Liam Neeson, Owen Wilson. It was the ghosts. They're in a house. What movie is that?
Uh,
Come on, you know what movie
House
this
on
is?
Haunted Hill.
No, no. It was the lion takes off the guy's head, but it's like they don't show anything. Either way, it's like that movie is kind of what I'm giving the haunting on Hill House. It's like, what is that movie? That's not Sam Hayek, but it was Owen Wilson and Liam Neeson was in it for sure. What was that? It doesn't matter. We'll get back
People
to it.
yelling at us in the comments.
Yeah, they're like, it was this one. It was this one. Yeah, well, guess what? I've had something to drink, so whatever. Sue me. Yeah, so I think it's gonna be whatever. Okay. That brings us to our next haunted house, which is the green background. Beetlejuice. Personally, I'm extremely excited for this haunt. I'm like, I know this was a haunt from last year.
Yep.
Probably because they had to keep the IP is what we heard. They had to run it in order to keep the IP. At least that's what the rumors are. Did you watch any of the videos?
I did.
And what did you think?
I think I watched like an early one, and it looks great, but like I think the COVID stuff messed up the scares.
Yeah.
So
Which
watching the video, I don't think I got what it's gonna be, but it looks great.
yeah, I'm excited for it. I think because it's Beetlejuice.
God damn.
I know your camera. Zach went into the black abyss there for a second. It's fine. um, we said Beetlejuice a couple times, and that's what happened. So, I wish I had a little Beetlejuice come up. So, I think it's gonna be awesome. I mean, it's Beetlejuice, which is like everyone's favorite, you know. I just hope there's a wait. If you've seen this, so you've seen the thing. Is there a part of the haunt where he goes, "Nice blipping model," and he grabs his
I
junk?
think there is.
There better be, because that's like one of my all-time favorite parts. Like just like the live nudes type of situation going on where it's like the fire. He's like, yeah. I like. There's so much fun stuff that can happen during this, and there's so much creepy stuff that can happen during this. Like, oh, I actually don't want to watch anything, and I don't want to know anything about that because I'm thinking about the giant head and the big giant two arms. Like that would be a whole scene right there with the carousel. It reminds me of like when they did Ghostbusters and like the whole giant end of the Ghostbusters with the was there Ghostbusters 2 years ago at Orlando?
Yeah, I think it was 2 years ago.
I don't remember going. I don't remember
Yeah,
Ghostbusters.
that one was a little fuzzy.
Yeah, I remember going to Ghostbusters here in Hollywood, but I do not remember Ghostbusters here. Yay! So Beetlejuice, of course, is going to be amazing. Okay,
Yeah,
so
it's the comedy house. There's a lot of
Yeah.
comedy scares.
yeah, which is fine. You always need one of those. It's great to have, and why not? Like it's also a nostalgia one too. Because we always can't have 80s retro, new wave retro every year, which I wish they would, but they're not gonna, and they can't do that because that was the best year ever. Okay, so there's a Creep Show or Halloween 3. Which one do you think they're gonna do, and which one do you want them to do?
I think and want them to do Creep Show.
And do you think it's the direct port and the same sets from Hollywood?
I hope not. I don't think so. Because Orlando always, the few times that they have ported over stuff from Hollywood, they changed it up enough to make it their own.
Yeah.
And there's also, so in that puppet theater behind the scenes video, they had a special guest with them, which was Greg Nicotero, who is the main person behind Creep Show.
So you think that's gonna be the situation? So this is another one that's been sitting there since 2019, basically. Wow, that's so weird to say.
Yeah, I think so, because nothing else on this speculation map has Greg Nicotero attached to it. So why else would he be there?
Interesting. Now, I'm excited for that, because if they do the Creep Show, because the Creep Show in Hollywood, which Hollywood is not known for doing, they do good stuff, but there's a lot of black hallways and that kind of stuff. So when it comes to Creep Show, that was one of my favorites, especially since it was the first, they did like the first Creep Show movie. I think they added some other stuff, but it was like
For the show.
Yeah. So wait, what?
I think they had some of the movie and the
And
show.
the show? Yeah. So I remember that they had a lot of the movie because they had like the creature in the box, and it came out and he just jumped and scared you, and they had the it's your birthday, whatever, the dad with the zombies and that kind of stuff, and there's a lot of good throwbacks to those movies, which you watch them now, I won't lie. I've watched them. Zach, you watch everything underneath the sun. Literally everything underneath the sun. But like you watch them now and you're like, me personally, I'm like, this isn't this. What is this? Like, what is this? This is it's campy. It's campy to the max. Listen, I'm not gonna deny that. But like when I watched the one with Stephen King, and it's like the Moss one, which is my favorite, one of my favorites. No, I think the monster one with the box is, I don't know. They're all pretty decent. But you watch the campiness of the Stephen King one, and he turns into Moss, and he's just like, "Urgh!" At the end, you're just like, you just kind of put a forehead, you like kind of slap your forehead, and you're like, yeah, okay, I get it. It's a different time. They can't all be crazy and in your face and whatever. But yeah, but they bring that light to life in the haunted house, and I know you didn't get to experience it because you weren't at Hollywood, but it's pretty fun, and I hope they do bring Creepshow to Orlando and not Halloween 3, because we're getting Halloween 3 here in Hollywood, and it's already been like, we've already saw the pieces and that kind of stuff, so we're getting that in Hollywood, and I don't want it. I don't care about it. No one cares. I don't want it. Get it out of here. So yeah, that's the speculation for Orlando. What do you feel?
The scare zones?
Oh yeah, let's go over those real quick.
Okay. So we got 30th anniversary zone.
Okay.
The second one is Seek and Destroy.
Okay, first off. Okay, go through the list first, and then we'll go.
Okay. Seek and Destroy. Eddie Zone, Terra Cuentes, and Shudder.
So the only one I can think about is Shudder is going to be things from the Shudder
original stuff.
Yeah, which no one will get because who watches Shudder? Yeah,
I used to.
Yeah, but like no one watches it now. So what was the first one?
First one was 30th anniversary. So
what do you think that's going to be? Do we know? Do we have any?
Hopefully it's like Scare Zone anniversary stuff. Never really see that in anniversary houses.
And there's some good scare zones. They've done some really good scare zones. So
maybe some Vamp 55 or 85. Bring some of that back.
Yes, please. Let's do it. It's that one area. It's just going to be like, yeah. Because they know they killed it with that. They know they killed it with that whole entire area. So yeah, they've done a lot of cool scare zones that just like really. I remember they did listen, I know people don't like the Purge, but those scare zones were awesome
Yeah,
with the
especially when they have
bikes.
the vans roll out and the
Uh huh.
bikes. Yeah.
When they do the whole little stage show and they like auction people off. That was cool. That was some good stuff. Um, what was the next?
Seek and destroy.
What do you think that's gonna be?
So I don't know exactly, but it's a name of a Metallica song.
Oh yeah, seek and destroy.
So
Could
that's what
you?
people are saying, but I don't know.
There's no why
They
they
did
would
Rob
get a
Zombie.
as a scare zone.
Yeah.
Well,
In
they did, didn't they? Yeah,
2019.
they did. Yeah,
Yeah.
they did. Huh. Okay, first off, as a Metallica fan myself, why would you put Seek and Destroy and not it be Am I Evil? Am I Evil? Like that's one of my all-time favorite Metallica songs. Like why would you just put that instead? Like not Seek and Destroy. Sorry, Metallica fans, but I think Seek and Destroy is also you do anything else for a Metallica song. I think it.
That's
Metallica.
if this is
That's
actually
iffy. This
Metallica.
is that's very iffy. Metallica doesn't have a haunted. They don't have a scare zone.
I
However,
know the guitarist worked with them at some point in Hollywood.
so they have a
So
whole
I don't
Metallica. So then, okay. So here's the thing: where people come out with guitars and they're like, "Yeah, what's
Yeah.
the?"
Some flame guitars, maybe
and they're just
from like Mad Max.
and they're just trying to like stab you with guitars. Like, come on.
Throw drumsticks at you.
Like Rob Zombie's like made sense because he's got all this cool imagery and whatever, but like Metallica, listen, I don't know about that one. I think that one's a little sus to me. Then it's gonna be Seek and Destroy is probably like robots, killer robots. Done. That's what it is. It's robots. Mark my words right now. Seek and Destroy is robots. It's gonna
All right,
happen.
I would definitely prefer that over Metallica.
Okay, what's next?
Uh, Eddie Zone.
Is that gonna be like
So there was a scrapped icon named Eddie Schmidt,
yeah?
who is Jack's brother.
So it's gonna be a mini clown zone.
Yeah, so he has like faded clown makeup, and he's got like a mask over him. He has a chainsaw too,
Of course, of course.
but yeah, they scrapped that icon because it was during 9/11, so they scrapped him for some reason.
So we're gonna have more clowns. More. I mean, whatever. It's clowns. So they'll probably mix in like Jack and his and this brother. I would imagine something like that. So
Yeah.
It's a and everyone hates clowns, but also everyone loves clowns too. So whatever. All right. What was the next one after that?
Terra Cruentus,
What is?
which was an icon 15 years ago or something like that. And the lore is they show up however long it's been, like 15, every 15 years. It's like
Yeah.
an alien, I think. Like
Just wanna
very
get-
HR
Geiger. Yeah. So we're gonna get like some full-on aliens going on.
if that's what they are. I don't know.
I mean,
People are gonna
whatever. That's fine
Yell
with
at me
me.
for that too.
Yep. Come on, comment section. I mean, they're not even listening at this point. We're an hour and 4 minutes in, so it's fine. But if you are, welcome. Yeah, I'm cool with aliens. I mean, it's scary, but like some aliens, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then what else do we have? One more, right?
Yeah. The last one was the Shutter one.
Oh yeah, which is Shutter garbage.
They put out some good stuff.
Well, I mean, like, I won't. No, I'm gonna disagree. Like, I mean, did you watch the new Creep Show? I didn't like the new Creep Show.
I haven't
car-
watched it yet.
The cartoon too. I was just like, but then again, I don't really like watching horror. I don't know. I'm picky with my horror, so it's fine. Okay, what are the shows supposed to be this year?
So you
I
got
know-
Lagoon Show.
Yeah, and what else?
And Jack Show.
So no more. No more.
Yeah. No more Academy of Villains.
Listen, do you think? What do you think? No, they can't have Bill and Ted because the guy who plays Bill and Ted is also who plays Jack. Right?
Not different.
I swear, I remember watching something on someone's YouTube channel, and it was like he used to play this and was the main guy, and then did all the PR for it, and it was the same guy. It was in Bill and Ted. I don't remember. I'll have to go back to it, but what are the chances? Because Bill and Ted just came out with a movie that the show comes back. Could you imagine?
I would love that. But
Everyone would love that. I don't think it's going to happen either.
The Jack Show is in that building, in the Fear Factor building.
Oh, it is? Oh.
From this map.
So they're not going to have another like show out near the... Well, because they're going to do the Lagoon show, huh?
Yeah.
I still think they need a big old show right where that area is. But
so the scare zone nearest that is the Terra Cruentus one. Maybe they'll move it over and do something there. I don't know.
It just seems like I definitely liked when it was right there, right? It was right there, right? Where they would have a big old show.
Yeah.
Am I thinking right? Yeah. It feels like forever ago. It feels so long ago when they had all these shows. And that's where the Jack show was, right? And then
yeah, like right behind Mel's.
Yeah, right over there. And it was just like crowds of people. Oh, man. I cannot wait to go back. This is making me go. It's like the thing is crazy. It's almost July. First off, where did July come from? Because I'm like, whoa.
Still in last July.
Seriously, like this has been going crazy fast. There's so much going on now. It's a lot going on. Things are picking back up. We're getting back to normal. There goes Zach went into the biz again. It's just
at least it's not shutting off.
Yeah, it's just like, hey, bye. So we're getting back to normal. I'm excited. Do we even want to go over to Hollywood really quick? I don't know.
If you want, we can touch on it.
Yeah, we'll touch on it because we're getting into the too long of stuff. Let me move this because it's in the middle of our faces. So real quick, we're going over to Hollywood now. We'll go over them just a little bit because most of them are pretty much the same. So we got Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Halloween 3, Beetlejuice, Pandora's Box, Walking Dead Attraction, Haunting on Hill House, and Bride of Frankenstein Lives. So literally the same, except for Pandora's Box and Walking Dead.
Walking Dead don't count.
And Walking Dead does not count. It's been closed off. I wish they would have it open right now, but of course I get why they don't, because it's next to the all the kid stuff. So it would be weird to have kid stuff, and then all of a sudden it's like Walking Dead. But like we're kind of getting the bad end of the stick over here in Hollywood. We're getting just probably direct ports from Orlando, and that kind of stinks. Except for Pandora's Box, which was pretty cool, but I'm very disappointed in Halloween Horror Nights in Hollywood. Zach, what are your thoughts of the stuff coming to Hollywood?
I've never been to Hollywood yet. I hope to go this year, but
yeah,
from what I understand, it is not as good as Orlando. Like,
no,
way underneath.
Like there are black walls everywhere you go. It's kind of wild how I'm not gonna say not good, but just like when you go to Orlando, you don't see a black wall. There's no black walls. Everything's plastered with something, and the amount of black walls that happen in Hollywood is, I'm like, come on, guys. We live in Hollywood. This is where movies are made. You're trying to tell me you can't put stuff on the walls in order to make these scenes transition, get out of here. It makes me angry. I'm like, come on, we live in Hollywood. We have blockbuster movies that happen here.
Yeah, the studio's right there.
We have all of the biggest movies ever made literally happened here, and we have the talent to create these things. Like, you are working with the best of the best that can create crazy stuff, and all of a sudden you're telling me you can't put some wallpaper up? You got to do a black wall? Get out of here. I don't accept it. I don't accept it. It's ridiculous. And it might be it's not a budget issue because it's like it's wallpaper or it's minuscule things that they just don't put the effort into. And listen, I'll fight somebody about this. Like,
It's some local haunt quality stuff right there.
yeah, it kind of stinks. Like, I would love to talk to the creative director and be like, come on, man, why don't you take $10,000? Why don't you take $5,000 less and get some great stuff and go make some stuff, okay? But yeah, I hope you get out here this year for it. Honestly, I'm not excited for any of these haunted houses because we're going to see them in Orlando and they're going to be better. Except for Pandora's Box, might be really good. Scare Zones, I did hear that the rumor was Terror Tram was coming back. That was the rumor. And that is pretty cool because if you go to Terror Tram, you get to go on to the lot for War of the Worlds, which is awesome to see that. But this isn't on the speculation map, so I'm not sure if that's just totally kaput.
This is version 2. So from what I saw from the first one, it was only supposed to be two houses originally for this year.
Yeah.
So this has already changed quite a bit.
I think they're gonna come out and just, well, no, they're not, because we would already see the construction in the lower lot, and they're filming a lot in the lower lot right now. So I don't think it's gonna happen, or they'll just start putting up haunts in July, August. They can't put up haunts in 2 months. I mean, they could, but I think they're going to. They are putting up haunts in different areas that they've never done it before. So if you go on the studio tour, they have, I think actually, it's not even on these maps. So this might even be wrong. I think they're going to do a full-blown, I'm hoping, because we're also maskless, know everything now. So I think they might be doing a full haunted house, a full shebang this year. I'm not sure. So we'll figure it out. I do think they're going to put... Where do they have Beetlejuice as? What haunt is it supposed to be? Where is that on the map?
It's over by the castle there, Harry Potter.
Yeah, no. I think Harry Potter... I think Beetlejuice is going to be over where Mel's Diner is, because they've already have a book out. Like, it looks like a book. And it looks like the book of the... recently deceased. I think that's what's going to happen there. But either way, I'm not excited for this. I'm not excited for it. I'm more excited for like, what do you call it? Not Scary Farm, which you got to come out for. Yeah.
I definitely want to.
Because it is awesome. It's a good time. But let's wrap things up. What are you most excited for, Zach? What are you looking forward to? What are your final thoughts on all of the stuff, Halloween Horror Nights, that have come out?
I am just excited we can go back after a year of not getting anything.
It is kind of nuts that we've had to wait a year plus in order to get to haunted houses. I'm ready. I'm more than ready.
I'm so excited I would take a whole Billie Eilish event at this point.
Listen, maybe it will happen. Maybe your dreams will come true. Maybe we'll have Billie Eilish after all. And it'll probably, honestly, I want to see what that haunt would have been. I so want to see what it was, because you know what? It was probably awesome. I won't deny it. It was probably cool.
Yeah, as much crap as we gave it, it would probably been cool.
Also, that means like this whole soundtrack just like because she made the whole soundtrack and just gone into the nether. Like,
New album sales.
that's it right there.
Pays more money than Horror Nights.
All right, I think that's gonna wrap it up for this episode. Zach, where can they find you at as far as socials? Because you got a couple other projects going on, so let them know.
Yeah, my personal Instagram, Zach Dahlia. For my podcast stuff, if you like bad movies, a couple of flicks, pretty much anywhere.
And I'll make sure to put those in the show notes and over on his face when he says it. Otherwise, you guys know where to find me at Let's Park It. And Zach, I'm glad that you're back. We got to do this more because there's going to be a lot more stuff happening. So we're definitely going to have this happening and doing this more. But yeah, I guess that's it, guys. All right. We'll see you in the nether, especially when Zach's camera does that stuff. Okay. All right, Zach. See you later. All right.
All right.
Peace.